Morning. Welcome to AKS IAS and welcome to the orientation session on economy for UPSC examination. Whenever students or aspirants hear the word economy, two things come to their mind. First one, it is highly technical, and the second thing, it is very difficult to understand economy. Without wasting much time, I'll try to help you burst the myths surrounding economy as a concept, economy as a subject in UPSC. Okay. Before doing that, try to understand for any examination, be it competitive examination or academic examination, the first and foremost thing an aspirant should do is try to understand the syllabus and try to by heart the syllabus. Understanding syllabus, by hearting syllabus helps you in your further preparation. And one more difference between academic examination and competitive examination is in academics, there is a possibility of reading 100% of the syllabus, getting 100% of the marks. Whereas in competitive examination, situation is absolutely different. Both are at poles apart. When I say competitive examination, in UPSC, you never get 100% of marks in any examination or in any paper, be it prelims, mains, or interview. The word 100% has no relevance in UPSC. So always try to focus on relevance and always try to focus on comparative advantage or edge among your fellow aspirants. Now, let us try to understand the syllabus of UPSC prelims first. Of course, the syllabus was given in just a sentence, UPSC document. Economic and social development. What is economic and social development? Before discussing what is economic and social development, most of you till date who are new to economy as a subject, because most of you might be coming from science engineering background, what is the difference between economics and economy? Common man uses these two terms as a synonyms to each other, but the harsh reality is that they are not synonyms to each other. Now try to understand the difference between economics and economy. What is the difference? The difference lies in economics is a discipline. It is theoretical. It frames rules and principles. I'll give you an example. What do you mean by rules and principles? Most of you might be watching cricket these days. Rules are different for one-day international, that is 50 overs game, T20s and test matches. In T20s, power play is for 6 overs, whereas in one-day internationals, power play is for 10 overs or 15 overs. And in test match, there is no concept of power play. That means for every game, every kind of game, the rules are changing. So, economics provide a framework of rules and regulations, principles, theories. Using these content, this theoretical knowledge, different countries, different geographical entities or territories, they use the knowledge and adapt it to suit their own conditions. Economy is nothing but practical application of economics. And please try to remember, the word economy is never appeared in isolation. It is always followed by a prefix. For example, Indian economy or American economy, German economy. So, when I say Indian economy, what we study in Indian economy, we study how India is using the knowledge produced by economics as a discipline. So this is the difference between these two words. And now I'll give you the definition of economics. Economics is the study of how societies use their scarce resource. The word scarce is very important. How societies use their scarce resources and produce certain goods and services, distribute the same among its population. So, in a nutshell, define economics as a study of how societies across the world use their scarce resource. Why I have used the word scarce here? Because no country is blessed with abundant resources of all kinds. Every country has got its own limitations as far as resources are concerned. Okay, now having said this, when economics is about studying how societies use scarce resource to produce valuable goods and services and distribute the same among their population, what is economy? Economy is about what kind of resources a country is blessed with, what kind of goods and services a country is producing, how the goods and services are distributed among its population, what is the consumption patterns of its population. So, we are using the theoretical content from economics as a discipline and using it in your own economy, in your own geographical territory to suit the needs of your own country. This is about economics and economy. Now come to prelims syllabus, economic and social development. Economics should be used for social development. When I say social development, what do you mean by social development? It is development from all societal fronts, development in all social economic indicators, and sustainable development. What is sustainable development? It is about development without compromising the opportunities of our future generations. So likewise, in prelims, these are the syllabus lines mentioned: poverty, inclusion, demographics, social sector initiatives. So coming to preliminary examination, there are certain apprehensions among students. What was that? First and foremost apprehension or myth surrounding the minds of aspirants is economy is highly technical. Second one, lot of data has to be read or memorized. Third one, difficult to remember. Fourth myth, current affairs is enough. Let us break all these myths one by one. When people say or aspirants say economy is highly technical, my answer is absolute no. It is much easier compared with your technical engineering subjects. Once you understand the basic concepts, it will stay in your mind till you make it to the final list. The only difference here is pay attention when you're reading economy or when you're attending my classes here. That will ensure you to understand economy and it will stay forever in your mind. Conceptual clarity is very, very easy in economy compared with other disciplines. Hence, it is definitely not technical. It is as simple as any other subjects. Okay. Second one, you need to remember lot of data in economy. This is absolute wrong perception. Why? I'll give an example. Most of you are having relatives, of course, nobody is an orphan here. How many of you will remember the birth dates, marriage anniversaries, etc. among your social circle? Do you remember the birth dates, so wedding anniversary dates of all your relatives, both from maternal side and paternal side? Nobody does that. Why? Because that is not important. What is important then? You remember the birth date of your father, mother, siblings, and if you are married, wife. If you don't, and you are in a relationship, your boyfriend, girlfriend, etc., and your parents' wedding anniversary. This is core data you should remember at personal level, right? At family level. You don't remember your great grandfather birthday or your grandmother birthday or your maternal uncle's wedding anniversary. Generally, we don't. Likewise, in economy, very few data is essential. Yes, we should understand poverty, statistics related to poverty, unemployment, GDP growth rate, savings, investment rates, and certain demographic data related to sex, sex ratio, literacy, migration, etc. So largely not more than 15 to 18 important statistics you have to remember. For a period of time, you will easily remember these data, a data set of 15 to 20 or 18 parameters. So this is about understanding how to read a subject. Whenever the word economy comes to your mind, don't think that lot of data has to be remembered. No, it is not at all required for the examination. UPSC doesn't test your, what do you say, numerical data, etc. Now, next one, difficult to remember. Most of the students commit the same mistake of not revising, reading multiple sources. This is the reason for not able to remember or recollect the concepts while attempting the examination. That is the reason why they are not able to recollect the concepts, and the subject itself is not the reason for their difficulty. For any topic, be it economy, polity, geography, etc., revision and source which you read is of paramount importance. That defines your success in the examination. Now, current affairs is enough. Most of the students has this apprehension or has this doubt in their mind. I don't read any textbook. I read newspaper, the business line page in Hindu, or Financial Express, or Business Standard, etc., or Business Line, and that will ensure my success in UPSC prelims as far as economy is concerned, or UPSC mains as far as economy paper 3 is concerned. And this is a highly misconcepted notion. This is absolutely a false perception. Current affairs alone will not ensure your success. Always, questions, if you go through the questions of UPSC prelims and mains, questions will be asked from static part and dynamic part. When I say dynamic, it relates to current affairs. When I say static, it leads to it refers to concepts. So try to understand economy from these two dimensions. You should understand the concepts of economy. What is inflation? Impact of inflation on economy, consequences of increasing inflation, decreasing inflation, and what are the measures that the government is coming up to address inflation problem, and what is the role of Reserve Bank of India? How does monetary policy influence inflation? How does interest rates influence inflation? How does fiscal policy controls inflation? Try to understand from a concept based and then come to the dynamic part. Whenever economy is slowing down, government will increase its expenditure. Eventually, increase in government expenditure slightly pushes inflation upwards. That comes under dynamic part. What is a program, what is a policy adopted by the government to increase expenditure? So try to combine current affairs with the static concept. Then this myth will be busted. You will remember everything in the examination hall. Now, current affairs is enough? Of course, it is not enough. This is about bursting the myths surrounding the minds of aspirants. Now, let us understand the significance of economy. If you have any doubts, just type your doubts and I'll answer. Try to understand the significance of economy. When I use the word significance, I mean to say importance. How important economy is for your success in civil service examination, both prelims, mains, and interview. Okay, please pay attention. In prelims, every year, minimum 15 to 18 questions. At times, it may go beyond 22. Okay. In mains, in GS paper 3, somewhere around 100 to 115 or 120 marks. And in every year essay paper, you find at least one topic from economy. That is for 125 marks. And in interview, definitely you'll be asked one or two questions on economy related topics. So you forget about interview, now you calculate. In prelims, somewhere around 15 to 18%. Here somewhere around ES paper 3, it is more than around 60%. And in essay paper, it is around 50%. This is the importance of economy. Most of you might have gone through 2020 prelims paper. There were somewhere around 20 or 21 questions in economy, including current affairs. Out of 20 or 21 questions, 17 questions any student of mine have been attempting. And most of the students who qualified prelims and who are my students, they got 18, 17, 19, etc. questions absolutely right. Why? Because they followed all the things till date and all the things so far we have discussed, like sticking to one or two resources, constant revision, reading current affairs, having basic conceptual understanding. So a scientific, smart preparation strategy will definitely ensure you cracking around 80% of the questions. And when it comes to mains, most of the questions are integrated with current affairs. And in essay, of course, anything can be asked from the economy related concept. So this is about the importance of economy in UPSC examination. And without any doubt in my mind, I say that the time you spent on economy and the results or the productive yield it gives you in your success is so high. You spend less time and the yield is so high in economy. Then the most important juncture of this lecture, that is sources for economy, what to read, what not to read. Most of the students these days with information overload have become books collectors rather than administrative collectors. What is the objective of you people appearing for UPSC? To become IAS or IPS, right? If you become IAS, after one or two promotions, you become district collector. Rather than aiming to become a district collector, people today are becoming book collectors. Why? Because of lack of clarity in their mind about how to approach economy. What to read is very, very important. Now, I'll help you to understand the sources which you have to prepare for economy. Very important sources. For UPSC preparation, 4 letters are gold mine. What are they? Achha, 5 letters. NCRT for every module in GS and even for your optional subjects also, like polity, economy, history and geography, environment, etc. NCRT is like gold mine. Unfortunately, most of the aspirants, they overlook NCRT. They feel NCRT is of basic level and hence they try to read higher level books like Datta and Sundaram, Mishra and Puri, Uma Kapila, etc. And few students also download IGNO material. And they purchase NCRT. And they purchase a Shankar Ganesh, Ramesh Singh, latest edition in the market, Nitin Singhania. Somebody reads Wazira material, Sriram material, whatnot. See the list. By doing so, number of books in your rack piles up, and the content related to economy in your brain decreases, goes down. These textbooks or these things, these sources are not meant for UPSC. Please stay focused. Please try to understand the exam for which you are appearing. These books are not written for UPSC aspirants. These books are for those people who are doing their masters in economy, MA economics. That's it. That is why I strictly suggest not to buy these things. Of course, except Shankar Ganesh. Ratan Sundaram, Mishran Puri, Uma Kapila, IGNO material, please do not read these things. They are not necessary for UPSC examination. There might be few relevant topics in these books related to economy syllabus, but you feel burdensome by going through these books. So these are strict no sources for your preparation. Then after NCRTs, what should I read? For every topic or for every GS module or for every optional, there are three sources. One is primary source, or we can call it as a basic source. Second one is secondary source and a tertiary source, or you can call this as advanced. NCRTs are your primary source. Secondary source, I prefer class notes as a secondary source. Within a short period, I'll give you a glimpse of how I teach economy in my class. Okay, class notes. If not, one standard book. If you are inclined to buy Ramesh Singh, don't read Ramesh Singh from page 1 to the last page. Do not read any book in its entirety completely. Go through the syllabus, go through the previous year's questions asked by UPSC, and selectively read Ramesh Singh. And the third and important source, that is a tertiary source. Current affairs. When I say current affairs, again, most of the students in Hyderabad, I see them having Hindu newspaper in their hands. I don't know whether they read the newspaper or they buy it for playing Sudoku or reading sports news. My point is, definitely Hindu newspaper is good, but Indian Express and Live Mint, they are more useful for your preparation compared with Hindu newspaper. As far as utility is concerned, I prefer Indian Express and Live Mint newspapers. Since most of you are watching the class and other things online, when you got access to good internet and a source like laptop, etc., please go through Indian Express and Live Mint. Do not spend more than 30 minutes on these two. How to choose what to read from newspapers? Again, go back to the syllabus. That is why I say time and again, by heart the syllabus, because whenever you are reading newspapers, magazines, etc., you will know which is important, which is required for the examination, which is irrelevant for the examination. Then, one more source, Yojana magazine, very important, and budget document and economic survey. Finally, reports or recommendations given by institutes like International Monetary Fund, World Bank, and Niti Aayog. So this is the book list for UPSC. You don't understand your tertiary sources without understanding, without reading NCERT. This is a comprehensive, exhaustive list of economy related sources. Of course, these are inevitable. Without going through tertiary sources like current affairs, Yojana magazine, budget document, economic survey, and reports given by agencies like International Monetary Fund, World Bank, Niti Aayog, etc., you cannot get good scores. Like when I say good score, I mean for a 10 marker question in mains, if you write a relevant answer, you get 3 to 4 marks. If you add content relevant, which is relevant, and the content given by budget document, economic survey, these reports, you can easily take these 3-4 marks to 6 to 7 marks. And trust me, most of the students, when examiner is liberally giving marks, they score somewhere around 140 or 135 in economy GS paper. That kind of value addition, pushing your marks from 4 to 6 or 3 to 7, is possible by going through all these things. Yojana, budget, economic survey, reports, recommendations given by IMF. So this is about the source list. Now, let us look into the main syllabus. Today, I'm not going to decode prelims syllabus or main syllabus. This is a general orientation, how to prepare. And within a short period of time, I will make 2 more videos, one exclusively on decoding prelims syllabus and another one on decoding mains syllabus. But just have a look at the syllabus of mains. Indian economy. What did I say? When discussing about the difference between the words economy and economics, economy is always associated with a prefix. So we study Indian economy in mains and issues related to planning. What is planning? Planning is about how you use your resources to achieve the objectives or targets. Say the target is GDP growth rate should be 10%. This is the target. What is a plan? How you use your savings, investment, etc. achieve this. Mobilization of resources, both physical and human. And again, growth, development, employment. All these things we will discuss both from prelims perspective and mains perspective. And most of the students, they read unnecessary stuff related to the examination. For example, when I say NCERT, there are 4 books. 9th standard, 10th standard, 11th. In 12th standard NCERT, you got 2 books. One is microeconomics, other one is macroeconomics. Which is more important? This is not at all required. Why? Microeconomics is a study of decisions made by individual economic agents like individual people, households, firms, etc. How they are using their resources, what kind of goods they are producing, how they are setting the price. It is related to buyers, sellers, manufacturers, household entities, etc. That is not required. What is macroeconomics then? It is the study of an economy as a whole. That means macroeconomics is a study of Indian economy as a whole. When we study Indian economy, we study macroeconomic indicators at pan-India level. When I say the word macroeconomic indicators, what do I mean? They are nothing but gross domestic product, fiscal policy, foreign direct investment, balance of payment, inflation, capital, investment, unemployment, interest rates, etc. All these are called as macroeconomic indicators. If you study these indicators, macroeconomic indicators, you are studying Indian economy as a whole. When I say studying Indian economy as a whole, what do I mean? It is about how Indian economy is producing its goods and services, how it is distributing the same, what kind of goods it is providing, what kind of goods it is manufacturing, whether it is manufacturing basic goods, intermediate goods, capital goods, what kind of services it is providing to its population, what kind of mineral resources it is possessing, how it is being used. So all these things, how RBI is reducing interest rates, increasing interest rates, what is the status of balance of payment situation in India today, what is the unemployment rate, why unemployment, all these things, it is nothing but studying Indian economy as a whole. Okay, so this is about general orientation about economy, and I'll answer this very important question. I said in the beginning, there is a myth about remembering economy, understanding concepts, and solving the same in the examination is difficult. Most of the aspirants feel this way. I'll give an example here. Most of you have seen this picture, right? For any significant activity, you need a skill, right? What is a skill? Something you acquire through practice and determination. If you do anything consistently, you acquire or you learn that activity and you become an expert in that activity. That is called skill. Most of you might have done this in your childhood. Riding bicycle used to be childhood dream for every kid. What was the first experience? The moment you climbed on a bicycle and got hold of the handle, you might have fallen down, right? Nobody like a Superman or a super kid rides a bicycle in their first attempt. You try, fall down, and again you try, you fall down. Over a period of time, after 1 week or 10 days, know how to ride. And then you ride fast, and then you do all kinds of stunts. Riding, like, taking off your hands from the handle, doing all kinds of stunts while riding a bicycle. What do you mean by this? From falling down to riding fast, there is a progression. What was that? Regularly practicing the same activity. That is why for UPSC examination, these two words will ensure skill in every module of your preparation, be it GS, be it optional, or whatever it is. These are two important words that should become part and parcel of your life till you are in UPSC preparation. So this is about the role of skills, acquiring skills, and how to master economy or any other subject for that matter. Constant revision and practice. Again, I give an example. Why practice? Practice is very, very important because practice will ensure how far you learn the subject, how far you are able to recollect the subject, and what is your drawback, where you are lacking, where you are going wrong. Assess yourself. For self introspection, practice is very, very important. How do you practice? You practice UPSC previous questions, do mock tests, and that is how ensure getting a skill over economy as a subject. Now, final thing, most of the aspirants read success stories of toppers. Every topper has his own strategy for success. And trust me, there is no single recipe for success. Success has got umpteen recipes, umpteen strategies. I'll give an example. Look at this boy. He is touching, what do you say? The trunk part of the elephant, right? Imagine this kid to be blind. Whenever a blind person touches this part, the trunk of the elephant, what is his feeling? It might be a long pole. Whoever touches the feet of this elephant, a blind man, he feels it is to be a short, huge circular pole. Whoever touches this part, a blind man, he feels this to be a strong table or a strong wall. And whoever touches the tail of an elephant, a blind man, he feels that this might be a snake or this might be a small animal with a thin tail behind it. All these are perceptions. But when do you know that this is an elephant and this is not a long pole or a short pole with huge diameter or a wall or a small tailed animal? Only when you see the larger picture, only when you touch the every side, every part of the animal, you tend to realize that it is an elephant. Likewise, try to read everything in the syllabus, then only you realize the true picture of how UPSC is asking questions. So success has got umpteen recipes. Do not fall by one single strategy suggested by a topper. Before reading any strategy and adapting the same for yourself or for your preparation, try to get the complete picture. Just now I explained with this example. Unless until you touch every part of the animal, you cannot realize that it is an elephant. Unless until you read everything given in the syllabus, unless until you revise, unless until you practice, you do not get the real hold of the examination. Yeah, now you can ask your questions, answer them. Very good. This question is asked by Giri Babu. The question is about how to use conceptual understanding in mains answer writing, right? I'll give you an example. GDP growth, increase or decrease? And its impact on inflation. Okay. If the question is on, does moderate inflation ensure GDP growth? Comment. This is the question for 10 marks. You should understand the interrelationship between macroeconomic indicators like inflation and GDP. What was the question? Moderate inflation. That means inflation is neither high nor low. It is moderate at healthy level. Does this moderate inflation ensure GDP growth? Comment. So if inflation is moderate, go back to the concept of inflation. What do you mean by moderate inflation? That means increase in prices are gradual rather than sudden. That means there is inflation, an element of inflation is observed, but it is not so high. That means prices are increasing. This reflects why prices are increasing, because demand for the goods in the market is increasing. When demand is increasing, naturally price will increase. When demand is increasing, production will go up. When production is increasing, that means you have to hire more number of people. That means more employment opportunities to the market, in the market, to the labor or to the unemployed youth. More employment means all those people who got employment, they receive wages. And those people who receive wages, again, they spend on their consumption. Because they are getting better wages, their consumption is diversified. The kind of food basket they consume, it will get diversified. What is happening? More consumption. More consumption means more demand. Again, more demand means more production. What is happening here? A virtuous cycle is set in motion. Now, this is about inflation and a related concept. What is the role of GDP? What do you mean by GDP? It is nothing but an aggregate of goods and services produced in an economy in a given period of time, right? This is the definition of GDP. Aggregate of goods and services produced in an economy in a given period of time. Generally, we consider 1 year. So, production of goods and services, is this production increasing or decreasing because of moderate inflation? Just now we have established a relationship. Definitely production is increasing. So when production of goods and services in your economy is, naturally that will push your GDP. This is how you must understand and apply the concepts in mains exam. Again, I'll give one more example. Those who are interested to know how to apply concept in prelims examination. I'll write two statements. Please pay attention. This question was asked in UPSC prelims. Inflation benefits debtors. Inflation benefits bondholder. First statement, second statement. And your A is both 1 and 2 are correct. B, both 1, 2 are wrong. C, 1 is correct. D is correct. These are the options given. Among these four options, you have to pick one. In my class, I define every single technical term used in my class. Debtor, bondholder. Who is a debtor? Who is a creditor? What is inflation? Debtor is a person who takes loan from other. Look at this. A, B. A is a debtor. He has borrowed 100 rupees from B. So A is called what? Debtor, and B is called creditor. Now let us come to the first statement. Inflation benefits debtors. What is inflation? Rate of general rise in the level of prices of goods and services. Right? This is the definition. Rate of general increase in the level of prices of goods and services is the definition for inflation. When price of goods is increasing, who will benefit? This is the question. Either debtor will benefit or bondholder. Let us come to the first statement. A is a debtor, taken 100 rupees from B, went to market, purchased 10 apples. What is the cost of each apple? 10 rupees. So when apple cost is 10 rupees, for 100 rupees, A got 10 apples. After 3 months, A has returned the borrowed money to B, the same 100 rupees. B went to market, purchased apples, he got only 5 apples. What is inflation? Increase in price of goods. In this case, apple price was increased from 10 rupees to 20 rupees. 10 to 20 rupees. So B, by spending 100 rupees, has got only 5 apples. B is a creditor, A is a debtor. Now try to answer this statement. Inflation benefits debtors or creditors. Naturally, A got 10 apples, B got 5 apples. Who got more benefit? Debtor. So this statement is right. Now, who is bondholder? A is a bondholder invested in a company called XYZ. What do you mean by bondholder? To invest your money. That means you are giving credit to XYZ company, and in return, they are providing you a bond. Bond is nothing but a piece of paper which is having the information about the money you have invested and the rate and the time period related to your investment. So try to simplify this. A is bondholder. That means A is a creditor. A has invested his money in XYZ company. When inflation increases, he will be benefited. A is investor. That means creditor. A will be at loss and XYZ company will be benefiting. So this statement is wrong. Bondholders do not benefit because of inflation. This is how I approach all the basic concepts in my class. Vasudev Nayak, just now I have given you the list of NCRTs. The question is, Which NCERTs one should read for economy preparation? I just now have explained. NCERT 9th standard, it has got just 4 chapters. 10th standard, 11th and 12th. In 12th, only read macro, not micro. Okay. 12th NCERT is having 2 books, macroeconomics and microeconomics. So read macroeconomics and do not read microeconomics. These two are basic for basic understanding. 11th and 12th standard macroeconomics, these 2 books are very, very important for your preparation. By reading these 2 things, you can answer 80% of conceptual based questions that are appearing in UPSC prelims. So read these 4. These 2 doesn't take much of your time. Trust me, 9th standard NCERT can be finished within 1 hour. 10th within 1 or 2 hours. So read these 2 books once and leave them aside. But spend more time and attention on 11th standard NCERT and 12th standard macroeconomic NCERT. Any questions? Let us conclude the session. Thank you.